Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Scott.
And we are
Gallivanting Gamerz. So today we are going to be talking about Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon.
Yes. In another video we may talk about Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, but I kind of want to talk about Curse of the Moon.
Which, honestly, we enjoy a little bit more.
Oh, is that controversial?
Go on.
I really love Curse of the Moon. It's so much fun. And it really just feels like another Castlevania game. It's just so great.
So a little bit of brief history. Koji Igarashi is the guy who basically redesigned the Castlevania series and pushed it towards the newer direction of being a Metroidvania, also called an Igavania, where instead of the game being linear, it branches out into multiple directions, and you have to unlock different areas of the castle and just play the game from the inside out, so to speak.
Keep the Iga and the Igavania.
And he hasn't worked with Konami for some time. He started his own studio, and he basically launched a Kickstarter to try to resurrect this version of gameplay, this sort of Castlevania-like. So the game that he came up with was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is, for the most part, a spiritual successor to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And now, on the extra bonus goals in his Kickstarter, he was talking about little fun 8-bit games that would possibly come as a byproduct. So he worked with a studio, he worked with Inti Creates on these games. And the thing is, Castlevania Symphony of the Night was deeply connected to Castlevania III on the old Nintendo because of Alucard, who was from that game, and Alucard is the hero in Symphony. Well, this game operates very much the same. With that similar dynamics. So you have Ritual of the Night, which is like Symphony, and he created Curse of the Moon, which is similar to Castlevania 3. And the fact that there are 4 characters in the game, you can either have join you or not join you. That's its own thing. And they all have their own different abilities and ways of interacting with the levels and progressing through the game.
Which is really fun, and it actually kind of changed how I play video games. Because I'm antisocial, and I'll be playing as one character, and to have another one come up to me and be like, "Yeah, you want me to be part of your group?" I'm like, I don't talk to strangers. But Scott was like, "You should get everybody. You just need to try it." I'm like, okay. And now I'm glad I did. It's because it's so fun to have them play off of each other or to try all the different moves. And, my favorite thing is being a bat. I pretend that Jeeble's Alucard.
Jeeble basically, like I said, this game is so similar to Castlevania 3. If you played Castlevania 3, if you get the character Alucard, he can turn into a bat and he shoots 3 projectiles, just like Jeeble.
I will say, it's nice that you can turn off the knockback.
Yeah.
Do casual mode for the veterans.
Yeah, exactly. But they definitely borrowed a lot from Castlevania 3. Alucard's basically Jeeble. Sypha from Castlevania 3 is basically Alfred, the witch. He has a fire spell, an ice spell, and a lightning magic ball spell.
He's a wizard. That's great.
And, Zangetsu's a little bit different. When you play as Zangetsu, it feels kind of like Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, actually. He has a sword, it's short range, he jumps quick, and he's very fluid, unlike a lot of the other characters. Miriam feels the closest to something like a Belmont. She has a whip as a weapon. She does have a high jump, which is not like a Belmont. And, some people, that's one way you can, before you power up Zangetsu, her high jump comes in very helpful.
Yeah, but then you get that double jump with Zangetsu. You're all over the place.
Exactly. Your favorite thing is being the bat.
My favorite thing is being the bat. There's a lot of cool, really weird, enemies and bosses. I think our favorite's probably the big dragon.
Yeah, the boss design is really cool in this one. I forget their names. I know Volak is the dragon that you fight. Ultimately, it's two dragon heads that you have to defeat right in the beginning, and they combine into one big dragon head at the end. It's based off of a demon of the same name, Volak, from the Lesser Key of Solomon, or Ars Gratia, which is an old demonology book.
And then there's we call her the Blood Lady, who I think is based on what Elizabeth Bathory.
So it's to some extent, yes, because she's bathing in blood, so it's a little nod to that, yes.
Yeah, very.
And they have this one, I forgot the name of this demon, but I think most of the demons are based off of some demon from the Lesser Key of Solomon, which I personally enjoy, being interested in demonology. But there's the guy with the gold, you know, the guy that's composed of gold coins, and he's shoving gold in your direction. That's really cool. And then there's that weird turtley looking guy. Let's see. There's that electric, there's Bathan, which I believe is the electric demon that you fight. And Gremory, also from the Keys of Solomon books, is the supreme villain in this particular game. And her design is great. It just looks good. It looks good. Like, you fight her in one form, and her second form, her wings just kind of flare open, but they're not like regular wings. It's like little pieces of wings, and it's almost like a seraphim, but like a demonic version of one. It's really creative how it looks, and she's throwing like moonsicles and stuff at you.
But yeah, I would encourage people to not underestimate Crystal Moon, because I don't want you to be like, oh, you know, like it was a bonus game from a Kickstarter, just a little 8-bit game they threw out. No, it's really good.
It's really well put together too.
It's the first game that I ever actually got into speedrunning. I'm almost down to half an hour.
Yeah.
But I get so into it, and I'll just sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna do the whole thing.
Yeah, we figured out tricks on how to master this game.
We found a glitch, which we'll show you one of these days.
Yeah, we'll show you one of our speedrun
like
glitches.
Half a level. But it's just so much fun, and I've become like a lot better of a gamer now, having like practiced that so much. I mean, just as a side note, I tried to play Mega Man before, and I sucked at it. I got really frustrated and like rage quit almost. But after playing Curse of the Moon over and over and over, I've gotten a lot better, like jumping around and all sorts of stuff. So now I'm playing the Mega Man games again.
Yep. Now, my only criticisms of the game, I'm going to bring in some criticisms now.
No, those aren't allowed here.
On this game, just a little bit.
What?
I'm not necessarily, here's my criticism.
You didn't tell me you had criticism.
I don't necessarily, because I think the music is bad. I think the music is relatively good. Some of it isn't as memorable as it could be. Some of it is, but there's like a couple songs where I just felt like they were phoned in a little bit.
Only he feels that.
The song on the boat's cool. That's based off of one from the Ritual of
That
Night.
was my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite song, and that one feels like it was written by, what was her name? Michiru Yamane is
I think
the
it is,
composer.
isn't it?
Yes. No, it is, yeah.
Yeah, she came back and did the music.
Yeah, Michiru Yamane, and I forget the artist's name. I think it's Yasi Kojima, or Yami Kojima, something like that.
We apologize if we
Yeah, but I mean, they brought back the artist.
We didn't do any research before this.
Well, this is off of memory, but they brought back the same music composer and the same artist that was responsible for that symphony movement that redefined Castlevania. If you think about it, all the games before Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the art was in a very masculine, like, I'm a He-Man warrior style, going after Dracula, very Conan-like, very barbarian, and very rough art. Now, I forgot.
You have these big muscular guys with whips. Like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost like He-Man or something.
Yeah, it's very He-Man-esque. When the artist came in, which I believe is I'll look up the name later. I'll put the name in text here just to verify. But the artist brought in a completely new and unique art style to this particular franchise. I forgot what it was called. I'll put it in text, but basically it translates to pretty man or pretty boy, you know, or something like that. So it kind of brought in a feminine quality to the art, particularly the masculine characters, but to portray them in a very beautiful, graceful light, which took off really well. Because if you look at Alucard, he's not muscle bound or anything, but he looks very graceful, and he still looks intimidating. He looks like he is a, you know, just a mystical creature that could do damage if needed, and it works out really well.
That's just how we picture vampires a lot now.
Exactly, and honestly, that's yeah, exactly. So it works out really well for that, and you'll notice from even the more masculine style Castlevania games that took place after Symphony are now using that new artist, and they redefined like the look of Simon and Chronicles and things like that. They just kept her, which was a very, you know, I thought was a good decision because that art is a really beautiful style. And
how did you decide that?
Because the artist did art for the Curse of the Moon. I ramble sometimes.
I'm here to keep his tangents in check.
I apologize. Anyway,
Don't apologize.
the same artist drew and did a lot of the art for Curse of the Moon as well, as the music. That was really the start of this conversation, was the music. It feels like it could have easily fit into something like Symphony, but it's in this game as well.
Yeah, I love being a bat and dashing and jumping around and having a great old time.
No, it's a great game. If you haven't had the chance to pick it up, I think it's only like $10 or something. It's totally worth it.
I mean, if you're anything like us, you're gonna get that.
Absolutely. Well, somewhere around here, we're going to be talking about the second game over here, I think. So check that out when you can. Other than that, please like and subscribe, and if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.